Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel and welcome to my kitchen. So as promised, you guys asked for a carnivore diet shopping trip. And because this is not something that I do on a daily basis, your girl doesn't really have all the skills and equipment to be out in the grocery store filming a whole grocery shopping trip. So what I did was I went shopping. I have all my groceries here and I'm going to show you everything that I got, okay? Now, before we get started with this video, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and make sure to check out my carnivore diet video that I made a couple weeks ago. If you guys haven't seen that yet, that's me talking about my journey with the carnivore diet. Now, today, I'm gonna show you a few things. I'm gonna show you what you should be eating if you are starting out on the carnivore diet. And then I'm going to show you what I'm currently eating today to maintain my weight loss and also to continue to lose weight. And I've added in some things into my diet, okay? So first we're going to talk about how you should be eating when you start the carnivore diet. I'm going to put a link below in the description box that will give you a pretty good list of items that you should be looking at when you go to the grocery store and items you shouldn't be looking at. It's super duper easy when you go to the grocery store on this diet. The reason being is because you really don't need to go through the aisles of the store. Now, again, I want to stress, this is when you're starting, okay? So you're going to walk into the store and you're going to go straight to your deli counter, or you're going to go straight to your meat section, or you're going to go straight to where the cheeses are or the milks are, and so on and so forth, okay? You don't really need to go to the vegetable aisle. You don't really need to go to the chip aisle. You certainly don't need to go to the candy aisle, okay? All of that stuff. So it makes your grocery shopping a lot shorter and easier, okay? So let's talk about what I first started to eat when I was on the carnivore diet. And I'm probably gonna have to unpack some of this stuff from here. But one of the main things was, first, you wanna go through and you wanna determine what it is you like to eat normally. What are the foods that you enjoy eating? Do they fit into the carnivore diet in any way? Okay, so start off by making a list like that. In my case, I really enjoy eggs. I like hard-boiled eggs. I like scrambled eggs. I like eggs over easy. However you can give them to me, I'll take them, okay? Eggs is a huge staple on this diet. I use them in the morning time. I will make scrambled eggs with a steak or a protein or bacon, and I will put cheese on them. There's a lot of different ways that you can do eggs, but I will tell you, this is just one carton of 18. I go through, because I'm feeding my whole family this, anywhere from 2 to 3 cartons a week of eggs. So I buy a lot of eggs and I eat a lot of eggs. I eat the whole entire egg. I don't eat just egg whites, okay? So that's very important. For this diet, the nutrients that you need are in the yolk of the egg, okay? So another thing you can do is hard boil these eggs. You can put them in the refrigerator. You can eat them as a snack. They're a great on-the-go food that you can take with you if you don't necessarily have time to eat, or maybe you're not that hungry for a full meal and you just need to get some protein in. Eggs are a really good way to do that. Now, staying on the topic of, I guess, dairy, another great thing on the carnivore diet is cheese. Now, these are the Baby Bell cheeses. Now, I always read your back ingredient label. These in particular have 5 grams of fat, for one piece, 70 calories, and 0 carbs and 0 sugars. So these are a great carnivore item that, again, on the go, you can eat them whenever, really, to tell you the truth. If you prefer, let me get these cheeses. If you prefer something along the lines of shredded cheeses, you can either go and shred your own cheese, or you can buy pre-shredded cheese. Now, the carnivore diet will tell you processed cheeses are not the best, but these only have, this is the Target brand, by the way, and this is Mexican style cheese, and then I also got mozzarella cheese. And I put these, again, in my eggs. I put them on chicken, all kinds of stuff, okay? These only have 1 carb, 0 sugar, so they're really not that bad, okay? You can also go and get something like, if I can find it here, Goat cheese. Goat cheese is one of my favorite cheeses. Goat cheese is 80 calories, 7 grams of fat, 1 carb, and 0 sugar. So what I like to do with my goat cheese is I will buy salami, okay, and this in particular is hard salami from Sprouts. This hard salami is a processed meat. However you can do it, okay? It has 1 carb. It has 1 sugar in it, and it has 10 grams of fat. So this is an excellent source of fat. Granted, it is processed, and granted, it does have 1 carb, 1 sugar, but it's still extremely low. So what I like to do is I like to take a little slice of hard salami, or 2 or 3 or 4, and spread it with some goat cheese, and that's another excellent, excellent snack. You can also make chicken, although chicken is not that high in fat. But if you want to add some fat to your chicken and chicken is your protein of choice, put some goat cheese in your chicken. The other type of cheese you can put in your chicken is a mozzarella cheese. This particular one is a burrata cheese, a fresh burrata cheese. You can also put blue cheese. You can make a blue cheese sauce with a little bit of blue cheese and heavy cream or butter. Also great. So those are your cheeses. I also get feta cheese, and I'll tell you why I get feta cheese, because a lot of people eat feta cheese on salads or vegetables, but I'm going to tell you how I use this now. I wasn't actually eating feta cheese in the beginning. Ricotta cheese, another delicious cheese you can eat. I make a yummy carnivore pizza with this cheese. I'm going to do a separate video with cooking meals so you guys can see that. This has a little bit higher carbs, okay? Unless you're gonna get a fresh, like from the Italian deli mozzarella ricotta. This has 5 grams of carbs and 4 sugars. So this does have carbs and this does have sugars. So again, this is not gonna be wanna be your everyday cheese, but it's doable, okay? All right, let's move on to heavy whipping cream. Heavy whipping cream is allowable in small quantities on the carnivore diet. It has 5 grams of fat, 0 carbs, and 0 sugars, okay? So that's why this is allowed, because it is a fat source and it has no carbs, no sugar. So what I do with this is I make a lot of sauces with this. I'll make a cream sauce, a Cajun cream sauce for my salmon. I will make a fettuccine Alfredo or an Alfredo sauce with this, because you can have Parmesan cheese. I wouldn't recommend the Parmesan cheese that comes from Kraft, because that's not real cheese. I would go get either a block of Parmesan and shred it, or you can go to Costco and they have a great Italian cheese mix bag. But I make an Alfredo sauce with this. So if you want to have a white version pizza of the pizza that I make, you can certainly make a sauce like this. It's also great on seafood and things like that, okay? All right, okay, let's stay on the topic of dairy and let's go to butter. Butter is extremely, extremely important on this diet. You want to get butter in your food and you want to have a high quality butter. Now you can get something like this Target butter, which is the salted butter from Target. It has 0 carbs, 0 sugar. It's not the best quality butter, but this Kerrygold butter is extremely good, okay? And I highly recommend it. And I use it on everything when I'm not using things like bacon grease, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Okay, so let's keep going here. So snacks. So this is not something that I bought today, but this is something that I always have. It's not something that I always eat, but it's an emergency snack. And this is from Costco. These are mozzarella sticks wrapped with salami, okay? And they come in these little packages. You just rip one off like this, take it on the way, and you can eat a little bit of protein there, okay? All right, sour cream. Again, it's kind of with the heavy whipping cream. You can have sour cream, has 1 carb, 1 sugar, 5 grams of fat. If you have to have sour cream to make your items, that whatever you're eating, palatable, let's say you made some taco meat and you're just like, oh, I can't eat this plain taco meat, you know, I need something to make me feel like I'm actually eating Mexican food. Put a little dollop of sour cream. It's not going to kill you, okay? I want to stress, when you do this diet, I'm going to show you a lot of items that a lot of hardcore carnivores that are only eating red meat and drinking water, which people do, are going to say, well, that's not very carnivore. My thing is this: if you want to be successful with this diet and not have it just be a temporary thing, you want it to be a way of life, you have to find low carb options to make your food palatable and desirable, unless you're just not a big eater and you don't care. But I love food, and I don't want to feel like I'm eating different or like, sacrificing good taste for, losing weight or losing inches. It just doesn't seem, worth it to me. So I do everything I can to make my food yummy and delicious, okay? So let's move on to flavors and seasonings. You can have all the seasonings you want on this diet, which is amazing. But I want to warn you of packaged seasonings like taco seasoning, okay? Most people wouldn't think that there are carbs and sugar in something like this because it's just a seasoning, right? Well, you're wrong. There are 3 carbs in this, 0 sugars, and 0 fat. So there's no fat content in this, so this is not going to provide you any value other than flavor. So what I would suggest is, rather than using a prepackaged taco seasoning, just go get your own seasonings, make your own, season the meat however you like. Rather than doing something like this. In the Puerto Rican culture, we love sazon Goya. We use it in everything. This has 0 carbs, no sugar, but again, no fat, but it's great if you want to season something with that, okay? So if you want to make like a flank steak or something like that and season it, perfect for this, okay? The other things that I use for seasoning are olive oil. I use bacon fat, which I constantly have a little reserve of bacon fat. So when I make my bacon in the morning, I reserve the fat. I also use bone broth, okay? This particular one I get from Sprouts. It's called Zoop, and it is chicken bone broth. This is so far the best tasting one that I have found, okay? Unless you're making your own. Now, this has 0 carbs, 0 sugars, 0 fat, okay? But it has a lot of protein. And protein is just as important as fat on this diet. So you can get about 9 grams of fat out of a cup of this, which is amazing. So how I utilize this is, for instance, when I'm making a pot roast, okay? Instead of using a packaged seasoning for my pot roast and adding water to that, I season my pot roast with just regular seasonings, and then I use this as my liquid to add more protein and flavor, because this has a great flavor. Now, when I want to just sip on it, like a little bit of broth, I do add some salt into this. I add some pink Himalayan salt. Salt is something you shouldn't shy away from on this diet. Now, if you're already having to watch your salt intake, do keep, don't go overboard with salt, but don't worry too much about salting your food. Because one of the important things on this diet that somebody brought to my attention on my Instagram page to mention is water intake. I want to stress to you that while all this food is delicious and great, you can do serious harm if you do not drink a lot of water in general, okay? I'm not saying go and force a ton of water. I'm not necessarily somebody that's like counting that I'm, drinking the recommended ounces of water per day, but I drink water all day. This diet makes it easy because you can't drink anything else. You can't drink soda. You technically can't drink coffee, but I do drink coffee. Just want to let you guys know, because you guys were in the comments going, no coffee, no deal, okay? So yes, I do drink coffee. Now, I'm somebody that drinks my coffee black, but if you need to drink coffee and you want to put something like a little bit of heavy whipping cream or half and half, it's not going to kill you. Again, if it keeps you in a good mood, get the coffee, okay? There's also people that put butter in their coffee. Another thing is this. If you are somebody that does not drink water, okay? Like you're just like, water disgusts me, because maybe you're somebody who drinks a lot of sodas, or you drink a lot of juices, and you drink a lot of high sugar content drinks, right? This is a last option for you. This is the Crystal Light Refreshing Variety Pack is the one that I buy. We love it in our house. There is 3 carbs in some of the flavors and as low as 1 carb in the other flavors, but they are sugar-free, which is great. So if you need to just trick your mind by putting this in your water so that you can drink water and stay hydrated, then please by all means do it. Okay? Don't kill yourself on this diet just for the sake of saying that you did it by the book. It's not going to be worth it, and you're not going to be successful, right? Okay, staying with the broth. So I got this ramen broth at Sprouts, and I got excited about this today, but I'm going to show you how I'm going to use this with another food item that I am now eating. But I'm going to talk about this in a second. But you can get stuff like this. This does have carbs in it, but for those of you guys that are maybe further into the carnivore diet and you're going to move into other things, I'm going to show you what you can do with that. But here's another version of the bone broth. If you don't want to buy this bone broth, they always have the boxed broth. Okay, just put a little salt in it and you're good. When I was first starting out with the carnivore diet, because you cannot have fruit, because you cannot have vegetables, I was dying, okay? So I was like, oh my gosh, like what is like the lowest carb, delicious thing I can eat that is cold and crispy, right? And that was pickles. I ate pickles from the very beginning of the diet. I didn't eat them every day, but these particular pickles have 1 carb and obviously no sugars. These are just regular kosher spear pickles. So when I was just like in need of something cold and crunchy, like I was eating a potato chip, pickles is what I went for. So I still eat pickles and I love it. Okay, I think we covered everything that is dairy and sauce related. Let's talk about the meats. Okay. Salmon. I get salmon from Sprouts, but I get salmon from wherever I find salmon that looks great. This particular salmon is 2 pieces for $14.99. It is citrus lemon salmon. I will eat this with a couple of shrimp on top. I will make that Cajun cream sauce and I will pour it all over, and it is so good, you guys. You eat it and you're just like, I can't be on a diet eating this. This can't be possible, right? If you don't have a Sprouts and you don't want to buy their salmon and you have a Trader Joe's, Trader Joe's has Atlantic salmon with lemon herb butter. So they have these little fillets. These are really great. 1 carb in this, 0 sugar, but 30 grams of fat in this because of the butter, and salmon is super fatty. So this is a great protein item for you guys to eat on this diet. If you love salmon, eat salmon, okay? All right, hot dogs. So I wouldn't suggest ballpark hot dogs, which are, who knows what's in those things. But I get these at Sprouts. These are Fearless Uncured Franks, no antibiotics, no hormones, and they're about as natural as you come. These have 1 carb, 1 sugar, 11 grams of fat. So when it's burger night at my house, or chili dog night, or I'm going to a barbecue, bring these. Have them put them on the grill. Eat your hot dogs if they are going to make you happy, okay? These are protein, these are fat. They're not the thing that you want to eat all the time, but if that's your only option, it's acceptable, okay? All right, sausages. I didn't buy these at the store. I bought these at Costco. These are bratwurst sausages. I don't have the nutritional content on them. I don't eat them all the time, but these are a great option as well. Bacon. Okay, so I have 3 packages of bacon here. I bought these at Sprouts. I usually actually like buying my bacon at Target because it's a better price, but this bacon is hickory smoked, uncured bacon, no nitrates added, all natural. 0 carbs, 0 sugar, 7 grams of fat per slice. Okay, so I have like 3 or 4 slices of this in the morning time with my eggs, and it is delicious. Now, you want to look at the back of bacon, okay, because a lot of bacons are sweetened with sugar. These are things that you may not know, but you got to definitely read the labels, okay? Ground beef. Ground beef is something that you want to stock up on. You can make a lot of stuff with ground beef. I even made a carnivore-friendly meatloaf with ground beef because, I'll talk to you about this later, this is sugar-free syrup, no sugar, okay? Ketchup, no sugar, okay? So I did a meatloaf. Now, of course, I didn't put onions in it because you're not allowed to put onions, but you can do seasonings in there to make it palatable for you, and it is delicious. Get creative with this, right? If you like something and it's a protein, find a way to make it so that you can eat it on this diet and still be within the boundaries. Spicy Italian sausage. Actually, this one's the mild Italian sausage. Do not get the sweet sausage. Just get the spicy or the mild. This has 2 carbs, 1 sugar for a 2-ounce cooked portion and 15 grams of fat. So what I do with this is I make my carnivore pizza. Stay tuned for that video, okay? This is some grass-fed beef stir fry. This was about $5 for this. And what I'm going to do with this, you guys, it's going to make you excited, is I'm about to make some pho, okay? One of the things that I didn't get to eat very much in the beginning of this carnivore diet and I love is soups. I really, really miss soups. I would, of course, have my bone broth and that would kind of satisfy it. But I'm going to make a pho, and I'm going to tell you how I'm going to make a pho because we're going to stray away from the meats for a second, okay? I found, and this is not something you want to eat in the beginning, but again, if you just absolutely have to so that you don't go cheat with a real bowl of pasta, this is great. So this is the Miracle Noodle ready-to-eat spaghetti-style noodle, okay? This is crazy. So this has 3 carbs for this entire package. This is crazy. And 0 sugar. So not a lot, and 5 calories and 0 fat. So there's literally nothing in this. But this is made from, I forgot what it's called. It's a special type of something. I'm sorry I'm not helping you guys. It's a special type of something from Asia. I will put it down below, some information about the Miracle Noodles. But that's why these are kind of filled with nothing. But these are the spaghetti style noodles, and they also have fettuccine style noodles. So if I need to feel like I'm eating fettuccine Alfredo, I make these with the heavy cream, with the Parmesan, maybe put some shrimp, maybe put some chicken, and boom, my pasta craving is gone, okay? So what I'm gonna do, I think I'm gonna make this today actually, maybe I'll film it, is I'm gonna make some pho. I'm gonna make some pho with some beef in it, with the noodles, with my broth, and then I also bought this hot chili oil. It has 1 carb and 0 sugars. So, you know, this particular meal is going to be a lot more healthier carb-wise and sugar-wise than it would be if you went and got a whole bowl of pho at a Vietnamese restaurant. I love a whole bowl of pho at a Vietnamese restaurant, but it doesn't work with this diet. Okay, so the other day, I was at Tom Thumb, and I found these. Buy 1, get 2 free of the pork shoulder blade steak bone-in seasoned, okay? So buy 1, and the one was $8.99. That was the highest priced one, and then I got 2 for free. So be on the lookout for these types of deals. So when I find this type of stuff, I literally buy the meat and I freeze it, okay? Because you never know when you're gonna find deals on meat these days, okay? The other thing that I love is chicken wings, okay? I went and bought chicken wings because, you know, football's on, so you got to have chicken wings. And I don't want to feel left out at the football party. So I'm going to show you guys how to not feel left out. So this brand, Noble Made, makes a mild buffalo sauce that has 1 carb, 0 sugar, and 8.5, I don't have my glasses, 8.5 grams of fat. So guess what? I get to eat buffalo wings at the football party. How amazing. How amazing. So again, this isn't a death sentence diet. It's not going to kill you. If you don't like buffalo sauce, this brand, G. Hughes Smokehouse, makes a sugar-free, sweet and spicy barbecue sauce. He also makes a regular barbecue sauce. And this one has 2 carbs, no sugars, and no fat. So this is literally just a sauce. Or if you want to have your wings naked with no sauce, just seasoning, that's great as well, okay? I'm going to show you another sauce. This is made by Rib Rack. This is a sugar-free marinade cooking sauce with herb and garlic seasoning. And this has 1 carb and no sugars and no fat. So this is a great marinade if you want to put it on any of your protein, okay? So some of the things that I've added into my diet, I still eat all of this. I love all of this, okay? But some of the things that I've added, actually, I'm going to show you one thing that I started putting in the beginning, okay? How many of you guys like pork chops and fried chicken strips? Everybody. Okay. So this is what I learned. I never ate these before. Pork rinds. Pork rinds, okay? Now, at the store, they sell something. It's super expensive. It's like $12. It's called pork panko. But go buy your favorite pork rinds, smash them up in a bag, and make your own breading, okay? I don't want to make a whole lot of noise in the mic, but these are so good. These I got at Costco, I think, and these are the barbecue flavored ones. But there's all different kinds of flavors that you can get. Like I said, I literally crush them up into a dust. I will bread my chicken with that. I will fry it in a little bit of bacon grease or even vegetable oil. You can use vegetable oil. And boom, I have fried chicken strips, okay? Dip them in this. Okay, there's another brand called Primal Kitchen that makes sauces. They make a low-carb ranch. There are options for you, okay? This is another thing that I eat. Sugar-free Jell-O. Let me get that, okay? So you guys can see the sugar-free Jell-O. And make sure that it is sugar-free Jell-O, in fact. Let's see, is this my sugar-free one? Okay. Sugar-free Jell-O. Jell-O, gelatin, is carnivore because gelatin is made from parts of an animal, okay? So sugar-free Jell-O is good. Why? Because it's sugar-free. So you can eat as much sugar-free Jell-O as you want. There are no carbs, there are no sugar, okay? So if you are dying because you're somebody that eats a lot of sweets, eat this in the very beginning. Eat this in the very beginning. The sugar-free Jell-O will save your life. I lived on it. It was the best tasting thing I'd ever had in my mouth, ever. As I progressed, I went and got these Slim Fast Keto Bombs, particularly the mint chocolate chip. These taste like the Andes mints, okay? These have 7 carbs and 0 sugar. So these are a little bit higher in carbs, okay? But every blue moon, if I needed some chocolate, and if I didn't get some chocolate, I was gonna eat an entire pizza, I ate one of these, okay? Reason being, there's 8 grams of fat in one of these, and they're just about the size of a Reese's Pieces peanut butter cup, all right? So, did I talk about mayonnaise? Mayonnaise. You can have mayonnaise, and you can have mustard. Mustard you can have because it has no carbs and no sugar, so load up on the mustard. If you get mayonnaise, get this brand in particular. This is the Duke's mayonnaise, and this has 0 carbs, 0 sugar, 12 grams of fat, okay? So I use this mayonnaise when I'm making sandwiches. Well, how do you make sandwiches, Monique? Well, let me just show you, okay? I get these things called Folio Wraps. Folio Wraps are amazing. This is not sponsored by Folio Wraps, although I wish it was, because Folio Wraps has quickly become my most favorite thing on the planet, okay? What these are cheese wraps. They are lactose-free and gluten-free, okay? They have 150 calories, 11 grams of fat, 1 carb, 0 sugars. I do so much with this. I do so much with this. You can make taco shells out of these, okay? You just lay them flat, microwave them for a little bit, or put them in the oven. They actually crisp up. You mold them into a taco shell, or you can do a taco bowl. You put your ground beef in there, or whatever you want to put in there, and boom, you got a taco, okay? I make sandwiches with this. How do you do that, Monique? Well, you take it out, you lay the sandwich meat in there, you put a little mayo, you put a little mustard, you put a whole pickle spear in there, you roll it up, and you cut it either in little pinwheels or however you want to eat it, and boom, you got a sandwich. So I know what you guys really want to hear about is how I make pizza. I make pizza with these. So what I do with these is there's a couple of ways. If you want something like a calzone, you can wrap this like you would the sandwich and with all your favorite pizza toppings minus the vegetables. So basically all you can have is mozzarella, some pepperoni, some spicy sausage, or some mild Italian sausage, some mozzarella cheese. I think I already said that. Whatever cheeses you want to put. Roll this up, nuke it until it melts around everything, and then you literally have the cheesiest pizza on the planet, and it takes away your craving for pizza, okay? So I think that is everything that I had on the carnivore diet, but I'll talk to you about things like ketchup. Like this particular ketchup is from True Made. It's veggie ketchup, no sugar, 2 carbs, 2 sugars. Sorry, I lied and said that there was nothing in here, but there is. But it's the lowest I've found. So if you have to have ketchup, you can have that. Not in the beginning, okay? Stay as clean as you can on this diet in the beginning. This is something I put on my burgers. This is called Top Secret Recipes Burger Secret Spread. It's kind of like the mac sauce. And this has, why do they gotta make everything so small? 2 grams of carbs and 2 sugars. So this one's not so bad. I'm literally putting like half a teaspoon on my burger. This cilantro lime crema is great on that taco bowl if you want to make it. It has 2 carbs and 1 sugar. I already showed you guys the other seasonings, but there is also sriracha mayo. This has 2 carbs and 1 sugar. Okay, so this is great if you want to make salmon and want to put some sriracha mayo on there. You are good to go. You are a happy camper. The other thing that I have started eating is cucumbers. I eat cucumbers now, and I eat them with tzatziki dip. Now, I know that cucumbers are not carnivore. However, they are the lowest in sugar and carbs of all the vegetables. These are mainly water, which is really, really great. So I will buy this Greek cucumber tzatziki dip, which has, let's see, 2 carbs and 2 sugars. So I'm just eating a little bit, and I'll have it with a cucumber. I have also started incorporating some fruit finally. Now I am 58 days in, so I've started having some blueberries and some strawberries. So those are also the lowest sugar fruits that you can find. I have grapefruit that I'm going to start incorporating and trying. I will tell you, there's been a few times that I've like really strayed off the diet, like on purpose, because I was going out to a dinner somewhere, and it really messed me up eating bad food, okay? So I wouldn't recommend it. Your body's gonna get used to eating this way. You're not gonna die. It's not gonna kill you, and you're going to adjust. Like I said in my carnivore video when I talked about my experience, your first 3 days to a week of doing this diet are really, really tough, especially if your body is used to a high carb, high sugar diet. It's going to have to detox, so that means you're gonna be in the bathroom a whole lot. But that is all I have for you guys today. I really, truly hope that this video was informative for you, gives you a better idea of the options that you have. My advice to you is to just get creative. Don't stress it out. Take it 1 week at a time. You know, you don't have to go and buy everything. Just take it 1 week at a time. Play around with what you like. Your appetite will actually start to decrease a lot. You won't have to eat as much because when you start incorporating fat and protein into your diet, the food and the energy that your food brings you lasts a lot longer than if you had a high sugar, high carb diet. That's all I have for you guys for today. If you enjoyed this video, please, please, please give it a like, share it with somebody that you think might find it useful. And again, I'm gonna try to film some cooking videos for you guys, but only if you guys support this video and show it some love. So thank you guys so much for watching, and have a good one. Happy carnivore. Bye, guys.